Okay, today I'm here to talk about anything. Now, uh, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. How's everybody doing today? A lot of you guys know me and know me for a long time. And I've talked about this before, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth, and we've talked about this briefly. And so today I want to talk about living in the Philippines, how much money you have, how much money you need, what do you need to do when you come here to the Philippines, where do you want to live, what's going on with that. So, as a foreigner, been here for 7 years, how much money do you need coming to the Philippines? Well, let me put it this way: how much money you have. Maybe you don't sell everything you have in the States. Maybe you keep everything you have in the States. Come visit here for 6 or 8 months, then go back to the States. If you had a house, if you have an apartment, okay, it's okay to get rid of because you always get another apartment. But if you have a car, you have things that you have there, maybe it's best to keep that. The reason why I'm saying this is this: so many guys get in their mind, excuse me, selling something, and they have everything sold, and they come here with 100 grand or 50 grand cash. Say, for instance, you get sick. Say, for instance, something happens, and some of that money disappears. But say, for instance, you spend that money. Who's going to take care of your wife, your new children? Who's going to take care of them if that money's gone? If you cut the cord to the United States, we have an opportunity to do something and maybe make money on the side. You come here, there's no way to make any more money. You're stuck. You're stuck in an environment that's not user-friendly for any kind of foreigner. So you have to plan that. Insurance is a big factor. A lot of insurance companies say, okay, you pay the bill now, and what we'll do is we'll cover you, and you pay the bill, and you send us the bill, and we'll write you a check. Well, reimbursement usually takes anywhere from 60, 90 to 120 days. It's anywhere from 3 months to 6 months for them to reimburse the money. But what they're starting to do now is pre-existing conditions. They're saying, okay, we only paid 1/3 of the bill because you have pre-existing conditions. So say, for instance, if you pay 2, 3, 4 grand, you're only going to get $1 grand of that back. Because in a lot of cases, because what they're doing is they're not paying for certain things now. It's the name of the game. When you're outside the United States, it's really different. Some people say, well, I bought a traveler's insurance policy. It covers me internationally throughout the world. And they do. But maybe it may cover you in Thailand 100%. It may cover you in Cambodia 100% or Japan. Come to the Philippines, it's quite different. It's like Mexico. Mexico, you can use your Cigna down there, United, Cross, Anthem, TRICARE, any of those. Here, you can use them too. Some cases not. But they reimburse you the money, and you get whatever. A guy told me he reimbursed his bill, he got $1,000 on a $4,000 bill. Insurance is not only hard to get, but getting that past that stuff. Listen, if I get hurt, I'm in trouble also. And how much money do you need on your credit card? 50 grand? Some guys are telling them 10 grand. 10 grand ain't going to touch it. A lot of cases, having a baby, it's not going to touch it. I mean, you need more than 10 grand. You need more than 10 grand. You need 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. How much money do you need? How sick are you? Maybe nothing's wrong. But what if? What if your son gets sick this year, next year your daughter? What if your wife gets sick and you get sick? They got Philly Health, but it only covers 10% now. Philly Health will get you in the door, but you got to pay for it in cash. So who's going to cover the medical bills? See, that's the thing. You got the medication, the bills themselves. You got to find another source. So you really have to think about that. Another thing to think about is how much money do you actually need here? So I've been here for a period of time, and I want to buy a lot, and I'm renting, and I want to buy a house. Okay, that may be a good thing, but how much money do you have? Do you have 100 grand? Is that going to be enough? Think about it. Do you have 200 grand? Is that really going to be enough? Do you still have your things at home? Do you still have access to your house? Do you still have access to a property or somewhere you can stay? So if things go sour here and they go bad, and say, for instance, you have to go back, do you have somewhere to go? And can you bring your wife? So these are things you really need to think about before you just sell everything, come here to the Philippines. The Philippines has a lot to offer, but the problem is people really don't think it through. Did I think it through? I thought it through up to a certain extent. I didn't think it through. I didn't think it through. Why do you think so many guys are saying, okay, I'm heading back to the States? It's because they didn't think it through either. So many guys are deciding to go to other countries because it might be just a little bit easier. because of the insurance care and other things. What if this happened to a gentleman this last week? He went to the hospital. He had 10,000 available credit on a credit card. It was a good credit card. So he goes in, they admit him, he gets in, he's self-insured, everything is fine. The hospital bill came to get paid, right? And they declined his credit card. Why? He's outside the country, and they just declined it. He hadn't used it in a while. It was a good credit card. He had good credit, he said. But anyway, they declined his credit card. So what do? So you had to pay cash for it. So say, for instance, you pay cash, so to get out. But what if he had to do that? Now what's he going to do? His credit card's not working now, and his self-insurance situation has gone bye-bye. So now he's here with no insurance or no self-insurance. So you really got to think these things through a lot. You really have to sit down and say, okay, what am I going to do? Do I head back to the States? Can I get on Medicare? Can I do this? Can I pay the penalties and get back on Medicare? Part B, C, whatever. Can I do the things that I need to do and get it done? Now that's the things you really got to think about. What if you're in a situation where you're here in the Philippines and you spent money, you bought land, you bought a house, built a house, and say for instance you had $250,000 in the bank and everything is fine, you ended up with $100,000 left. And that $100,000 is really sitting really pretty in the bank and everything is good. You built the house under $20,000 and bought the land. So you have all the things that you need to live here. But what if something happens, circumstances happen? The longer you're here, the more money you're going to spend. And believe it or not, when you're retired, if you have money in the bank, it's so easy to say to yourself, I am going to spend that money, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. You buy a car, you buy a motorcycle, then you say, well, that's not the one I like, I'm going to buy another one. And before you know it, you've already spent $5 or $8,000 or $10,000, and you keep doing that through the years, your money's going to start dwindling down. You're not replenishing the cup. The cup is going empty, and the cup, you have no replenishment. But say for instance you get sick, you're whatever age, you get sick and you pass. Is there enough money for your wife or son, daughter to live on? How much are they going to live on? They're going to live on 20,000 peso a month, or are they going to live on, what are they going to live on? So you have to really take a look and think about that. You have to take a look and think about how much money they're going to live on for eternity until. Are they going to make it 1 year? They're going to make it 2 years? They're going to make it 5 years? You really have to think about that. As a man of the family, you have to really think about that. How are you going to take care of your children and your wife? They take care of you. Man's responsibility. Maybe she's working, maybe she's not. If she's working here and you're going to try to live on $400 a month, that may be hard. If she's making $400, she's probably making $100 or $200. The thing that you really have to think about when you're living here more than anything else is, okay, I'm here. I need to maintain my income. I need to have a funnel back in to replenish the income I'm spending, or I need to go back to the States and do something on the side. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Come here and live here and then don't have any way back out. A plan B, for example. What if the country decides that you need to get out of here? And what if? Well, can you get out? Can you bring your family with you? So those are the things you really need to think about coming. As the future is coming upon us now, and the situations we're going right in right now, you need to think about plan A, B, C. If you don't, you're going to find yourself in a situation you don't want to get caught with no money, no access out, nothing to do. And if you get sick, God forbid if you get sick, how is somebody going to take care of you? And what if you need medications? What if you need chemotherapy? My good friend Marky had to leave here because he needed chemotherapy and he had colon cancer and he needed to go for surgery. He left here because the capabilities here is really really short. They just don't have it. They don't have it. I mean, come on. I mean, even my friend said that he had his appendix taken out and it even cost him still 10 grand. He said, I could have had it done in the States, cost me 2. So, because he has insurance in the States, here they would not cover his insurance. So he had to pay cash for it. You have to really think about that. Even a simple thing. So there's only two things that's cheaper here in the Philippines. Two things. Rent. Rent is cheap. Rent is cheap. That's it. What else is cheaper in the Philippines? Dental. That's it. Land is the same price here it is in the States. Now, granted, if you're living in Seattle or you're in the city somewhere, land's going to be expensive. But you can find land for $1,000, $2,000 in the States. Don't think you can't. You can buy an acre of land. High and dry. Has power, has electricity, has water, has everything you need. Many. In fact, I just pulled up a list of, I don't remember, 3,000 lots that's for sale right now under $2,000, $2,500. And you can buy these lots. They're high and dry. You can actually live in a mobile home on them if you had to. There's so many opportunities there that maybe you could just scoot in the car. Now people are saying, okay, I'm going to come here, I'm going to live here. The sweet deal would be come here, stay 6 months, live there 6 months. That's a sweet deal. You just rotate yourself in and out. In those 6 months stay, maybe you have an opportunity to make a couple of bucks. Sideline stuff. Side hustles, they call them. Quick cash. Maybe you could buy stuff, sell it. It doesn't really matter what you do. The thing of it is you can't do that here. You can't do any side hustles here. Unless you do it online, and you really don't want to go down the road on that. You got to be really smart. And you're sure not going to make it on YouTube. YouTube is faltering right now, and even the views are down. Even the big channels are hurting. You know, they got 90,000, 100,000, 150,000 subscribers, and they're getting 5,000 views, 4,000 views, including me. I only have 25,000, and I get 2,000 views. So even me, where I was getting a lot more than that before. But it's just the way life is. And they're paying, ads have gone down and not paying as much as they were, and you're making a lot less. I mean, I remember a time it was easy to make good money, and now it's just impossible to even make $100. So it's really hard, and I have 7 channels. So not everything is always the same. Anywhere you used to make $3, $4, $6 a video, $8 a video, $10 a video, sometimes more. I have made $300 a video, but now those days are gone. You're making 40 cents, 50 cents, $1, $2 on the high side, even with 10,000 views. So you really have to look at stuff in depth. How are you going to make income? Are you going to do something online? How are you going to keep yourself busy? How are you going to keep boredom running in? How are you going to keep these things alive to keep you going on? And that's the thing. We all have to, in other words, it's like if you have a job, you come here, you sell everything you have, you come here. What if you don't like it here after a couple of years? Does that happen? Happens all the time. People come here all the time, and they don't like it here, and they go say, oh man, why did I sell everything? Now they got to go back to the States. Some guys come here and they spend everything they ever made in their life, and then they go back broke, and they're living on the streets, or they're living somewhere in some small house somewhere, barely making it. I do know of a guy that happened to. He came here with a lot of money, and he spent it all. And did his girlfriend take it all? She took 80% of it. But that was really not smart on his mind. I mean, come on. You work hard. Are you going to give someone all that money? No, of course not. Why would you give someone money you worked hard for like that? It's like people don't really realize. Would they give it to you? That's a question you need to ask. If you're out down on your luck and you need a couple of bucks, would they give you and take care of you? I don't know. It's questions need to be asked. You got to figure it out, right? God bless everybody. Thank you. Tom and Ruth, Filipino Adventures. Mother,